Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here at my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows. If you are new, okay, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Also, comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought of this first episode of this new season of Martha's Vineyard, Summer House Martha's Vineyard, and share the video where you like to show your content. So this video, like I said, we are talking Bravo's kind of, it's a new show for them, but they're on their second season. This is Summer House Martha's Vineyard or Vineyard, however you like to say it. Okay, this is season 2, episode 1, titled Old Vineyard, New Drama. I did not review the show last season. I did do like an overall review of this season of the show when the show ended. I didn't review episode by episode. But I really did like the show and I did watch it and I watched everybody else's reviews. It's just hard to review a show that well, first of all, I watch everything on Peacock and it come out the next day on Monday. So at that time, it was hard to review shows on a Monday, but I believe I can handle it this time around. Don't have some of the things going on this year that I had last year. Y'all know last year for me was a tough school year. I lost 2 students. I just had a lot going on in my life. Anyway, y'all didn't come to hear all that. I will be reviewing Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Okay, so just look forward to the reviews, most likely on Monday nights, y'all. What was I gonna say? So y'all know if you're a Bravo, you watch Bravo, they have different summer house and winter house and all that. So this is our summer house, our black version. So we got to support them. I know the show got mixed reviews last season. I like the show particularly because I love to see our people going places like the Hamptons and all that, Oak Bluff and all that. Like that stuff is cool to see, like see how, other different sides of African American culture and see how we're not all the same and seeing how they spending their coins and just seeing them have a good time. I just like watching them have fun. Like they're in this big house, they're having a good time on this summer vacation. Okay. It's not the same stupid drama as we get in some of these ensemble casts, right? If y'all hear weird noise, it's my washer machine. I wash the rug, so it's just sound a little cray. Anyway, let's get into the episode. So basically, we're welcoming everyone back in the house, and I changed my background photo to this cast photo so y'all can see who all there. You gotta take a good look. I ain't gonna point out everybody. Hopefully, I think Alex is up there in that orange. Okay. We're gonna get to him. We see Jasmine, Jordan. So everyone basically came back. Silus is not back. He had to get deployed to Europe, I believe, so he won't be there. But Jasmine is back. Bria and her dog Milo's back. I said, why she bring that dog? Mariah's not back. Summer's back. Shanice is back full time. Well, Shanice did make good TV. I was like, Shanice, you should have been 2 chain even come back, girl. But anyway, well, I meant to put a sweater on because I was cold and I forgot. Anyway, I'm just gonna talk through it cold. Okay, so we got Jasmine, Jordan, no Silus. We got Preston. Preston was definitely a fan favorite. Amir, Alex, Shanice, Summer's friend Bria. I mean Noelle. I don't know why I called her Bria. Noelle. And Amir and Nick. I couldn't think of his name. Nick. Okay, so they're all back. Some of their significant others will join us later on. We hear Simon will come at the end, and whoever else is the guys' girlfriends are coming as well. So first to get to the house, looked like Bria got there first, or Jasmine. I can't remember, but Bria and Jasmine got there around the same time, and they're happy to see each other. We see Jordan riding up with Summer, and they're talking about how Jordan hasn't really hung out with Jasmine. Jordan said that she didn't like how Jasmine was moving last year. She was being like inauthentic, and she felt like she couldn't trust her. You know how Jasmine was just doing too much last year. And so she's not really feeling Jasmine like that. Jasmine says she hasn't really talked to Jordan. Jasmine also shared, and we're going to just talk about the episode, y'all. We're not going to go in no particular order because it was just a lot happening. But Jasmine shared that, everyone be hanging out and don't invite her, when she the one that introduced everybody to each other, so she don't know what's going on. She feels like she's been trying to reach out to Jordan and be friends and do all this, but it's very one-sided. I kind of felt sorry for Jasmine in this episode. But anyway, so who else do we see? Jordan and Summer get there. Jasmine shares with the group that she is not drinking because they're trying to figure out their menu and everything for the first night. They're going to do Jordan's tails, lobster tails. So they have lobster tails, and you got to tell something going on with your life at the dinner table. So they know Alex is a vegetarian or a vegan, so they're trying to figure out, he can eat some asparagus and that's it. Well, he going to drink some water. And so Jasmine shares that she also is going to be drinking mocktails. Alex converted her, and they were like, okay, girl. Now later on, we find out that she said after some party they went to in New York, that's why and then she just started to be sober. She wants to get clarity on things. No particular reason, just wants to clear her head and figure things out. And everyone's like, girl, she pregnant? She pregnant? I think she did have a baby though, right? And I'm imagining she's going to announce it at some point during this season. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that she did have a baby with Silus. So anyway, so she probably is pregnant here, right? And maybe she just didn't want to tell the girls too soon. Anywho, the girls are like, okay, girl, that's good for you. Shanice comes. I said, look at Shanice. Shanice gets to be there the whole 2 weeks. Child, y'all know it's going to be a mess. So Shanice immediately, she's ready for the shot. I can't take Shanice seriously on no occasion. I'm sorry. And then she immediately got in her bathing suit. Now I noticed nobody else was in their bathing suit but Shanice. But I was like, go on, girl, have a good time. Now Alex comes to the house. So they're choosing rooms and everything. I think Shanice and Bria are gonna share a room, and Jasmine's gonna have a room, and then they want to leave a separate room for Noelle because she's a girl. So they put the men. There's like this basement area that like has a bunch of beds, bunk beds, living room. So they're like, oh, we just put all the men down there. So Alex comes first. So they're like, oh, it's a Preston. And Shanice seen it was Alex. She's like, oh, it's just Alex. And so Summer looked so irritated with Alex. And then he even said hey to her. She didn't say nothing back. She kept talking bad about him every time he was walking out the kitchen, a-hole. She was just saying all kind of stuff about him. I was like, oh, what happened? Because y'all remember last season, Summer and Walker. Oh, my God. So I said, I'm going to call that girl Summer Walker when I was watching the episode. And I sure enough did. Summer and Alex, remember they was acting like they were gonna get into it if they got into it last season. Well, actually, we're gonna learn that they really did get into it, y'all. Anyway, so then what happened? So we see Preston driving up with Preston, we didn't see him driving up with nobody. We saw Nick and Amir driving up together, and Amir has a girlfriend, so he knows that him and Jordan move forward. He said he can't be handsy with the girls. He talking about, oh yeah, what's his girlfriend's name, Natalie or something like that. She finds out any of the girls, and I were doing anything or touching, she would personally come up here, and he talking about she would do all this stuff to him. Like, yeah, ain't nobody after you, Amir, just like the girl said. Anyway. Preston gets there. Preston ends up finding his own room, so he ain't got to sleep down there with the men. Eventually, everybody got there. And then I think Noelle eventually came. The guys said they got big AKA energy from Noelle, and she did confirm that she is an AKA. She's from Atlanta originally. Now, Summer shared that she met Noelle through this she's the roommate of the guy, somebody that she's seeing in New York. So it was one time she went to the guy's house, and there she said we are dating. She went to the guy's house, and Noelle was there, and they talked for a couple hours, and they became best friends. Now I'm like, is Noelle his roommate? Yeah, Summer, you better be her best friend. I said, Summer, you right, be her best friend, girl, you right. So then Noelle, I'm liking Noelle. I think she'll be a good, different vibe for the show for sure. So Preston and what's her name? Preston and Jasmine and Brie went to the store to get the crabs and the lobsters and everything for dinner, and Jordan and Summer stayed to get the table ready and everything. So on the way back, Preston, well, Bria was asking Jasmine how old she was, and Jasmine's like 31, and Bria's like 27, 28. I didn't know they were that young. I knew some of them were in their 30s or closer to my age, but I didn't know any of them were like, I don't remember them all being, anybody being under 30, I should say. Um, so Preston shares that the next day was going to be his father's funeral, unfortunately. And they're like, oh my God, you're not going to be there. He's like, no, I feel good about not being there. Like, he just doesn't feel like it was a good idea to go. He said that him and his father were kind of estranged. He hadn't talked to him since middle school. And then his father had got pow powed, and then they kind of re-entered each other's life. But he said he kind of was just being mean to him because of how his dad had been to him. His dad tried to like be cool with him when he got to law school, and so he did get to eventually spend more time with his dad, but it was at the later part of the dad's life. And he found out about his dad's funeral, I'm sorry, through a Google alert. And he said the dad's side of the family has and invited him and his sister to a lot of the events. And so he's trying not to cry about it. I felt bad. My heart broke for him. And that sucks. And then families being that way too. Like, that's just unnecessary. Very unnecessary. So hopefully, Preston gets whatever closure he needs. Now, Preston, you kept wearing these funny looking hats and now you're confessional. And I was like, why is Preston wearing these hats? Like, what is going on? He got something there he don't want us to see because them hats were bothering me. Those hats made me feel very awkward, Preston. I wasn't here for them. Anyway, they get back, they cooking the food and stuff. Now, Bria's cooking again. I said, who let Bria cook? Bria pouring in all that Old Bay seasoning. But isn't she from like Nashville or Memphis or something? So, what's her name? Noelle said, they like, are you sure you know what you're doing? Because Noelle's like, yeah, Bria's using a lot of seasoning. And she's like, I know them up north, people be doing stuff differently. She's like, only question I got is how you eat your grits. She said, do you use sugar or do you use salt and pepper? She said, because the way she eats hers, butter, salt, and pepper, and cheese, that's the only way to do it. Now, y'all let me know in the comments how to eat your grits. Now, I'm not going to lie and be honest over here. As a kid, I grew up eating them with sugar. Now, mind you, I live in California. Okay. I didn't know no better. I grew up eating them with sugar. But then when I got older and wiser and I went to Texas and I had shrimp and grits, and then I've been other places and I had grits made correctly with butter, salt, and pepper, shrimp. I never turned back. I will not eat shrimp with grits with sugar. Grits with sugar again. I would not do it. Anyway. But yeah, y'all let me know how y'all eat y'all grits in the comments. So let's see. Everybody kind of got ready for the dinner. The girls before that, the girls was in the kitchen like, what y'all think of Amir's new girlfriend? They were like, yeah, when I met her, she was kind of standoffish. And Shanice was like, yeah, girl, don't nobody want your man. And that's what I said. Don't nobody want your man. Girl, you ain't got to come. Lorena, Bobby, him, and all that. Nah, girl, ain't nobody checking for Amir. Amir's cute though, but he a little thing. He like a little chocolate drop. He a little caramel drop. Anyway, moving on. So then we do see everybody. The girls is, they was trying to get their wigs together. They was like, the lace ain't melted. And I was like, dude, well, let me see what products they had. But anywho, they go down for dinner. They all sit down. Now, that was a lot of food, okay? And it did look good. Now, I was cracking up the whole time because Noelle was struggling. She was like, how do I eat this? And the faces she kept making, every time the camera would go to her, Shanice was trying to help her. She was struggling with that crab and that lobster. She was struggling. Anyway, so this is when they first ask, what's her name? Jasmine about, girl, why you not drinking? And she explains why. And then they start asking who made the food. They're like, Bria, you made all this, girl. She's like, well, Jasmine did the lobsters. And so I made pasta, but Nick said it was too cold. And then I don't remember if anybody else got asked any, burning questions. But next thing we know, some are jamming up Alex about why he didn't invite her and Jordan to some like music event he had. And he's like, well, I know you was in New York. She's like, well, that's BS because I was on FaceTime with you and I was in Jordan's house, so you would have known I was in New York. So he said, it's a music event and the way it's set up, right? I got a small little music community I do these live events for, and it's a small community, and I'm the host, and people follow the community. So like, if you follow it, you would come, you would know. But it's not a thing where like I had to invite you or anything like that. But they was like, no, but you was inviting everybody else, but you didn't invite us. And so then Summer's not letting it go, right? So then Bree was like, well, like, okay, you and Jordan Summer went to dinner. You guys didn't invite me. So how you gonna say that? So at this point, Preston's getting irritated, and so am I. Because guess what? You're not about to get invited to everything. And side note, I guess Preston, Jordan, Bria, and Shanice. No, not Bria. Summer and Shanice had all, maybe Bria too. I can't remember. But they went to Jamaica and they didn't invite Jasmine, and they're all the question like, oh, sometimes you don't get invited. Everyone's not meant to get invited. I didn't like that. I felt bad for Jasmine, y'all. But anywho, so then Preston's like, oh my God. Like, he's like, oh my God, really? And so Bria's like, okay, but you can't expect, like, you're saying they didn't invite you, but then this and that. And then Jordan and Summer are like, no, what are you talking about? We didn't go to dinner and didn't invite you. And Bria's like, yeah, you did. But Summer's like, no, we're talking about we're in New York and we didn't get it. I didn't get an invite. Like, basically, Summer's trying to say, like, you talking about two different things. Like, it's not the same issue. So Preston is getting even more irritated. And he's like, oh my gosh. And so then Bria's like, oh, Preston, if you got a problem with me, like, you could just say it. And he's like, he said, I know you ain't mother ever talking to me, because then we gonna have a problem. So then, he didn't say exactly like that, but that's basically how he said it. So then I was hollering at that point, because I was like, yeah, he was over it. And so I already his ankle or something was hurting him, child. So then she was like, okay, Preston, what do you want me to do? You want to leave? So then they start going back and forth and get into it. And then she's like, I'm gonna leave. So she stormed off. Now, mind you, Brie had been drinking quite a bit that day. And then he's like, what you gonna do? You gonna run off? You gonna cry now? Okay, bye. Okay, but he turned around with his food. Bye. Bye. I almost put that in the background, that picture of him doing that. But anyway, so she went off into the house. Amir clearing the table because he tired. And so then Preston is like, first of all, y'all can't complain about right now getting invited and stuff, because we don't even all live in the same city. Like, Amir lives in Texas, somebody live over here, somebody live over there. Like, it's impossible for us all to go to the events together. And so, Bria, I don't know if Shanice went on there after her or Summer, but they talked her off the ledge, and she said she's gonna come back. So she came back and apologized to Preston, and Preston apologized to her. And Amir's like, Bria's the only one that come in, cause a bunch of commotion, and just come back and say sorry, and it's okay. She is. That's Brie. So anyway, Preston was saying, I wasn't trying to, like, I wasn't talking to you when I said, oh my gosh, I was just irritated with the whole situation. And he was irritated with this stupid conversation, because y'all not gonna get invited every time, everywhere. You just not. I had to learn that in college. Everyone's not going to invite you everywhere every time, even if you are in their friend group. That's just how it works, right? For whatever reasons, okay? So anyway, so then we thinking like the issue over, we moving on. But Summer circles back to Alex and said, but what I'm saying with you is the issue I have with you is why I'm not about to let you play in my face is because I was on the call with you and I was in New York. So why wouldn't you invite me to the event? She said so Summer said in her confession, like, she feels like she been holding Alex down. Like, a lot of the group don't understand him, and she understands him, and she has fought many battles for him and stood up for him and spoke up and, try to explain him to other people, and because he don't let people see all of him, and she sees all of him. I'm like, girl, that's your first mistake. You don't need a cat for Alex or cape for Alex. So anyway, so she was like, well, why wouldn't you invite the people who were there for you, the people that did all this? She's like, the people right here in New York, me and Jordan, you wouldn't invite us, and then you wouldn't invite me, somebody who you were inside of. So then the whole table was stopped. And I had to rewind it. I was like, did she say somebody that was inside of? I was like, what did she say? Wait, I was like, wait. Run it back. What did you say, girl? What did you say, Summer? She said, why wouldn't you invite somebody you was inside of? I was like, girl. So then Alex is like uncomfortable because he's like, dang, she telling the whole group that we didn't did the thing. And everybody in confession's like, we already knew, child. We already knew they did it. So Jasmine says she'd always the last one to know. She didn't know. All right. So then they popping off at the table all over again. So Alex said, okay, it just didn't work, this didn't work out. Like, right, doesn't get invited to stuff. He said, what about, other people not being invited? So then he flipped the script back on her. And he's like, what about like, other people not getting invited? Like Jasmine, she, I see you guys are doing a lot of stuff. You guys are not inviting her. So then Jasmine's like, yeah, it's no secret. Everyone's going to different things and I'm not getting invited. And Jasmine's like, I'm back in New York. Like, I want to go have a cocktail too. I'm going to go party too. I'm going to go do this as well. And so, um, she then brings up her, her and Jordan have their issues. And Jordan says, she does want to have a conversation with her, but they want to do it not in public. And so Jasmine's like, I'm just bringing this up because it was brought up. And they were like, no, you were right to bring it up. And so, okay, Jasmine and Jordan are going to have a conversation later on. Alex is uncomfortable with the fact that Summer brought up that whole situation. So anyway, Bria goes to bed. She sick. Okay. I think I ended up being hungover. Everyone's kind of talking to Noelle, asking her if she's single, ready to mingle. And she says she is. Now, let me back up. There's another important thing that we missed here. So earlier when everybody was in the kitchen getting the food together, Jasmine did ask her, like, okay, girl, you see anybody here you liking so far? See, Jasmine, that's what they didn't like you was doing last year, girl. That's exactly what they didn't like. You're not here to play matchmaker, sis. So she was like, yeah, I see Alex, because she's from she lives in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, I believe she said. She said she be seeing him around Brooklyn or whatever. And he tall, dark, and handsome, athletic build, but they haven't really like interacted as much as like they're gonna do in the house. And so she's like, well, I know him and Summer had like a little thing, but I don't really know, what much they could like they connected. She told me, but she didn't really tell me. And so everybody in confessional, Shanice is like, I think Noelle need to go have another conversation with Summer and learn exactly what her and Alex did. And I was like, yeah, girl, you need to run back to Summer and get the tea. And Summer, you playing. And Summer told the girls when they was getting ready for the dinner, like, yeah, I told Noelle she has free range, free game when it comes to Alex. Girl, you a lie. You a lie. She keeping Noelle close to the vest, honey. You was a lie, Summer. You was a lie. So anyway, you did not tell this girl she had free range the way you over here getting mad and emotional about not getting an invite because he was inside you, girl, you playing. So anywho, we'll see if that becomes a thing with Noelle, Summer, and Alex. God, I hope it doesn't. Alex ain't worth it, y'all. Anywho, everybody gets ready to go to bed, I believe. All right. Next day, they're getting ready to go on this boat. I forgot the name of the party, but it's some kind of boat party, which I was like, oh, finally we get to see them on the boat. Because I don't think we seen them on the boat last season. I don't recall that. So I was happy they got on the boat and we're having a good time. Because I feel like they didn't do as many fun like party things like that last time. So I'm glad to see them do the little boat party. They trying to play the speaker, but the speaker about to die. So that was like a bust. So Jasmine pulls Jordan aside to have a conversation. Jordan, her confession is like, oh, like I want to live my soccer on this boat. I don't want to be having this Dr. Phil moment. See, I don't like how nasty Jordan is being towards Jasmine in these confessionals. Like that was your friend, like that, and let that be your friend. Like, I don't like that. Give your friend grace. Yeah, they might annoy you sometimes. They get on your nerves, but at the end of the day, that's your friend, right? Every now and then, I got my friends annoy me too. I'm sure I annoy them, but at the end of the day, that's still your friend. So, oh yeah, and Preston said he calls Jordan his wife now. Anywho, so they have their conversation, and Jordan is like, I feel like you switched up, and Jordan is saying like, last year Jasmine was so concerned about being perfect, this perfect little wife, and this looking prim and proper and all this. She's like, when I met her, she had like a little buzz cut. I was like, ooh, Jasmine, girl. Don't you ever do that to your hair again. So she's like, yeah, you see how different she is now. So, okay, I think what Jordan's issue is that Jasmine was being very different. Like she's this prim and proper wife now that she's with Silus, and maybe she's putting on for the show a bit. I don't know. I get Jordan's point. And Jasmine said, "Yeah, I was. I was struggling last year." She was like, "Yeah, I wasn't being real. Yeah, I wasn't being fake." Jasmine owned it all. Um, and I appreciated Jasmine doing that. I think Jasmine got caught up with trying to be the perfect wife to Silas. How does she find herself in the friend group and be his wife and merge those two things together? And I think she was trying to be something she thought she had to be instead of just being herself and not worrying about the roles and the dynamics of it all. And I feel bad for her because you could tell that's what she was trying to do. I don't think she's going to try to do that this year. Hopefully not. Um, and part of me is glad that Silas is not there so that she can kind of just breathe and relax and have fun with her friends without feeling like she has to be this other thing because Silas is there. And like, I just wish Jordan, and I hope moving forward that Jordan will give Jasmine some more grace on that, because like she said, it was a new position to be, a new thing. She's trying to settle into being a wife and all this stuff. So you kind of understand where she's coming from, right? So anyway, but y'all let me know what y'all think about the whole Jasmine and Jordan dynamic. Um, so the girls talked it out. Then on the other side of the boat, child, Summer and Alex have another talk. And Summer's like, yeah, I just didn't, appreciate you not inviting me. Alex is like, well, I didn't like how you, airing everything out for the whole group like that. And so she's like, everybody already knew about that anyway. She's like, I'm just saying, like, you've been inside me, so you should have a level of love and a respect for me. You should be inviting me into things. You should be including me in your life. And he's like, don't you think that's not a good, a fair expectation? She's like, well, I don't care, but that's just how it is. So then, I was like, girl, he ain't got to invite you nothing just because you gave him some cookie. So then he was feeling like, he said in his confessional that, yeah, this one time, he's like, yeah, me and, Summer, we didn't did the thing, but dang, like, she trying to make it more than what it is, and then maybe we not on the same page. And this one time Nick called me and said, hey, what are you and Summer up to? And he's like, how does he know I'm with Summer? And I guess Summer had took a picture and sent it to Jasmine, and Jasmine told Nick, and the whole group find out. When you got that group of friends, everybody find out stuff, everybody talking to each other business. We used to have that real bad in college, y'all. So and so what's his name? Alex is not down for everybody being all up in his business like that, because Alex wanted to keep it undercover, okay? And so Summer said, she knows that Alex thinks that she wants more, but that's not what it is. She knows she's dealing with an F boy. That's why she called him a boy. Okay, that's what she's getting. Like, and she told him in the moment, like, I know you were just having sex. It's free. We're adults. That's fine. Like, but you could at least have the respect for me to invite me to things. She's like, maybe it's not a fair expectation I put on you, and I apologize for that. So they squashed it. Shanice says she tired of y'all having these serious conversations. Let's take some shots. Let's twerk. They did the swag surf. How we do. And they had a good old time. I'm looking forward to the season. I hope it continues to be good. This first episode was pretty good. They always got a bunch of drama that ain't about nothing, though. I will say on this show. But this show's a nice, such a fresh breath of fresh air from that dang Love and Marriage DC and Ready to Love and all them dang shows I review right now. It's a breath of fresh air from that. So I'm looking forward to it. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Are you watching Summer House Martha's Vineyard? I was cracking up with the preview when they said Shanice wasn't the best dressed, and she said she couldn't afford to buy no clothes. I don't know why that was funny to me. Forgive me, Lord. That ain't right, but it was funny. Anyway, we're going to see what that's about next week, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.